this is Miss Obermeyer and this is design class. We are talking about balance today and specifically radial balance. So radial balance is a kind of balance where everything kind of radiates out from the center. It's a little different than symmetrical and asymmetrical balance. Remember that symmetrical balance, one side is the mirror image of the other or the near mirror image. And in asymmetrical balance, the two sides are different, but through visual weight, you balance it out. Okay, so we're going to close this one up and start our radial balance design. Go with new file. We're going to call this radial balance. And it's going to be 3 inches wide, 3 inches high, 300 resolution, RGB color. Custom background will be white. Create. Command 0 makes it fit the screen. We're going to choose a background color. And whoops, fill it in with the paint bucket tool. All right, we can make a new blank layer. And we are going to go to the brush tool. All right. With the brush tool, we can use a hard edge brush. You could use a soft edge brush too. You can experiment with that. We're going with 100% opacity and flow. And we're going to go all the way to the far right side of the options bar. Okay, and click on the butterfly tool. All right, the butterfly is the symmetry tool. There are many radial type patterns we could use. You can use the spiral, you can use the radial, or you can use the mandala. I'm going to go with the mandala right now, okay? And you have to tell it how many segments to make. I'm going to make 8 segments for my mandala. Once you get your 8 segment box here, you have to pull it out to the edges of your design so it knows how big to make things, and push the check mark. And you're ready to begin. You're going to choose a contrasting color, and then I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller. The cool thing about this is it's going to mimic your pattern, okay, mirror your pattern, but 8 times, okay? So it's pretty darn cool. And I'm going to just keep going with some nice bright colors. Remember, you can make dots and lines. I can make a dot, hold the shift key to create straight lines. And I can go really close to the center and kind of pull it out to make kind of a flower. And let's switch. I'm going to make this one super bright and colorful. And maybe make this really small here, or smaller. So you can have a lot of fun with this one. Just kind of creating these cool and crazy patterns. So experiment, see what you can do, have fun with it. I'm going to go back and choose my blue again to bring that into the other part of the design. Go all the way out. Maybe create kind of some triangles. I can fill it in by kind of coloring it if I like. There we go. So you can, create shapes as well. So I could keep going with this, but again, in the interest of time, I am going to stop. Although I want to keep going and add some orange. Okay, I'm going to do it. Add some orange in here on the outside. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop now. So you get the idea, okay? And then because I made this as a new layer, if I wanted to change the background color, I can. At this point though, I can go with layer and flatten image. I'm going to add the text. Okay, it's got to be something bold because this pattern is pretty busy. So we're going to call this Radial Balance. Oops, I got to spell balance right. And again, you can change the font and the color. I'm going to put it up here and try to center it. And I'm going to go with, double click here. This time maybe I'll go with a drop shadow. Whoa, that double click on the drop shadow to get the drop shadow options. I'm going to bring this back up. Bring the spread in and the size in a little bit to make this this gives a shadow that makes it look like this is floating above the design. Okay, I'm going to make the shadow a little darker. And I'm also going to go back and go in with stroke and kind of give it a little bit of an outline. I can change the color. Ooh, that does not look good. And just bring the number of pixels down as well. I'm going to go back with maybe I'll go with the orange, but with a darker orange, which would be a brown. Okay, so make it stand out whatever you do. All right, then I can save it. I can flatten it, layer flatten, save it as well, I'm going to add the canvas size, image, canvas size, change it to inches, 0.5. Whoops, let's go back with 0.5 and 0.5. Change this to a white outline, and then I am going to go back and go with image, canvas size, make it 5 pixels, 5, so I get my little black outline. And okay, and okay. All right, save it as a JPEG. Save it into your Elements of Design folder. Radial Balance, save. Okay, and you're ready to go.